What Jesus said about Satan falling from heaven. In Luke chapter 10, verse 18, Jesus says, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." The context of these words is the return of the 70 disciples that Jesus had sent out to evangelize and prepare his way to Jerusalem. Luke chapter 10, verse 1 through 2. Now after this, the Lord appointed 70 others and sent them out ahead of him, 2 by 2, in every city and place where he was about to go. He was saying to them, "The harvest is abundant, for there are many who need to hear the good news about salvation, but the workers, those available to proclaim the message of salvation, are few. Therefore, prayerfully, ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest." As the 70 returned from their assignment, they were delighted to learn that even the demons had been subjugated to them. Luke chapter 10, verse 17 through 18. The 70 returned with joy, saying, "Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name." He said to them, "I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning." The response that Jesus provided can be interpreted in 2 different ways. First, it may mean that he saw in their success an earnest of the eventual fall of Satan from heaven. This will occur during the tribulation period and before Christ's glorious reign on earth. A second possible reading of Jesus' statements is that they serve as a caution against pride, and it is as if he were saying, "Yes, you are quite heady because even the demons have been subject to you. But remember that pride is the sin that gives rise to all others. Lucifer's fall from grace and his expulsion from heaven were brought about by his inordinate amount of hubris. Take care to steer clear of this potential hazard." In referencing Satan's fall from heaven, Jesus most likely had in mind Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 through 14. "How you have fallen from heaven, O star of the morning, light-bringer, son of the dawn! You have been cut down to the ground, you who have weakened the nations, king of Babylon. But you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of assembly in the remote parts of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High." Lucifer had lifted himself in his pride, but God had thrown him out of his original place in heaven. Jesus' statement in Luke chapter 10, verse 18 speaks of Jesus' pre-existence and the Lord's defeat over the power of Satan in a general sense. Luke chapter 10, verse 18, Amplified Bible. He said to them, "I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning." When Jesus' disciples returned to report their joy at their authority over demons, Jesus told them they should not have been surprised. Satan is a fallen adversary who has always been subject to the authority of God's Son. Jesus had dispatched the 70 in his authority over the demonic realm. The fact that Satan fell like lightning indicates that his punishment in heaven was swift and obvious. Jesus redirects their joy by pointing to a greater blessing, their salvation. Casting out demons has a limited and temporary benefit in this world, but having your name written in heaven is an eternal and limitless blessing. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9 refers to another time Satan is cast out of heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. We believe this happens during the future tribulation period when Satan is barred access to heaven once and for all. At the end of the Great Tribulation, Jesus will return, overthrow Satan's kingdom, and bind the devil for 1,000 years. Revelation chapter 20, verse 1 through 3, Amplified Bible. "And then I saw an angel descending from heaven, holding the key of the abyss, the bottomless pit, and a great chain was in his hand. And he overpowered and laid hold of the dragon, that old serpent of primeval times, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him securely for 1,000 years, a millennium. And the angel hurled him into the abyss, and closed it and sealed it above him, preventing his escape or rescue, so that he would no longer deceive and seduce the nations until the 1,000 years were at an end. After these things, he must be liberated for a short time." At the end of 1,000 years, Satan will be released for one final battle, but he is defeated again and thrown into the lake of fire for eternity.